All right, we're here on Bantam Lake, Connecticut. We've got a kitchen remodel. We're kind of right in the middle. This is the spot where like it doesn't look finished. It's kind of still being put together. But where does this all start, right? What am I looking for as the owner of the company, making sure quality control? Of course, we have project managers, but they're out there busy, you know. And what are they looking for when they come in too? Well, they're looking for a few different things, and it's from experience. And I'm going to point out one right here. It's making sure, and you can see the installer actually had snapped the line, which I kind of like that a little bit better because when I walk in, I can see that the line was snapped. In some ways, guys, most of the guys right now are running the whole laser setup that's shooting all of their angles and making sure everything's plumb. But why would I want to see this? It's happened. If the existing floor is diving down in a direction, what happens is that, and they don't make sure that this is level with this, meaning this is on the same distance across, and this drops with the floor. When you slide in the range and you level the range, because you want the range, level, because you don't want to put your pot on there and then have it the water tipping out one end. What's going to happen is when you set the range and you level it, it's going to be sticking up above the countertop here, and it's going to be below the countertop there, and it's going to look terrible, right? It's happened to us. We had to fix it. It was a pain in the neck because we didn't even realize that it happened until we slid the range in and realized that the countertop was here and it was there and we couldn't adjust it. So that's kind of the first thing I'm looking at. These right here are our wires for under cabinet lighting. This looks like they've been reused. This is not our electrician because this is a remodel. It already had existing under cabinet lighting. Our guy, shout out to Jay, our in-house electrician, does a much tidier job tucking that stuff away. What other things am I looking for? Well, I'm looking to make sure, we see what was an issue. Well, right here, this thing was dropped, and I dropped that too. Banged up. Something here, we're not going to be able to fix that. This obviously damaged the door too. We could get a door replacement, and this is a perfect example of when we don't know this, we can say, hey, the cabinet's here. We do our inventory, but it's still in the package. Maybe you open up the box, you kind of look in, you don't see this corner because it's covered. Now all of a sudden, this special order, we've got to get it. This is a Fabuwood cabinet setup, so we have a good relationship with them. So they're going to get us, within a couple of days. But this puts a halt on the kitchen. And a lot of times, if it's just the door, we're going to just pop the door off, install, or we're just going to install the cabinet, and we'll get a new door order, swap the door out, and the progress keeps going. But this really got banged up. See a crack here, crack here, crack there. So the cabinet's got to be another cabinet on order. That's one of the reasons. Now, if somebody's living here, now this is a, pan over here. This is a lake house. You can see it's, it's a lake house. But if somebody's living here, that's a pain in the neck. They don't have a kitchen for another week. Remodeling is tricky. There's so much stuff that can go on, and people have to understand that. So what else am I looking for? That as a project manager, you're going to walk in, you're going to make sure your measurements here. It's happened, guys. It happens all the time. Make sure you got 24 inches for your dishwasher. Make sure you've got electrical lined up. Now, is that the right electrical? In the comments, throw it out there, but I'm going to give the answer. That's absolutely the wrong. And that's because this was a remodel and they had existing hard wire for the dishwasher. Okay. That's a no-go now, guys. If you don't know, the code is it's got to be plugged in to the cabinet next to the dishwasher so that you can, with an actual plug and socket inside your sink cabinet, so you could unplug that dishwasher if there's any issues. It's safety at this point. Do the same thing here, right? This is the same thing I'm looking at. We know for electrical, I've got to get this whip up into here because you need to be able to disconnect your microwave. This is a no-go, can't be hardwired anymore for safety. So these are kind of things that as a project manager, you're going to be looking at, and you're going to be saying, hey, I need to get that fixed before we install too much. Obviously, this stuff isn't a big deal to do afterwards, but we got to think ahead. Lots of little stuff, when I'm looking at cabinet doors like this with their, they're just not looking good. Now, a lot of homeowners come in, oh, the cabinets look like garbage. You got this space here, it's dropped down, the door's tight, not lining up. That's normal coming out of the factory. Okay? So not a big deal. We get everything installed, we get the countertops on, everything is done, and when they go to install the handles, they adjust all the doors. And the doors have a bunch of different adjustments here that can tilt the door up and down, bring it up, bring it down, in, out, all of that stuff. So if you're getting a kitchen remodel and you have, it doesn't look great, ask the contractor, ask the project manager, are you done? Because if they're not done, then it's not done. It might not look good. So that's another thing. Next few things you want to think about, there's probably going to be a backsplash, making sure that it's going to be ready for the backsplash. And, again, you kind of want to make sure everything is lined up and set up that it opens. Now, sometimes it's not laid out properly. And maybe this, cabinet was a little bit closer, or somewhere where we've had this a lot where a drawer opens and there's going to be a handle somewhere and it's going to hit the handle. So you want to, it's not a good example here, but there's spots where things are too tight and you don't see it until the handles go on and then the handles are hitting. So lots of little things. This is a pretty basic kitchen, pretty, in and out, our standard workhorse. But it's going to look beautiful when it's done. Right now, it kind of looks like a little bit, but wait till the finish.